What an absolute pain. This was the last bit to go in, to connect up and ready for Nave to then begin the tiling on this bathroom. So I've just rung Dave at Plumbase and he said he's going to try and get me one for tomorrow, but that sort of throws out tomorrow's jobs, what I had planned in. So these things happen, I suppose. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well. We are back again at the bathroom renovation. It's all beginning to come together now, and we're at a stage now where hopefully we're ready for the tiler to start. Nathan, Matty, as always, my tilers, they'll be starting this coming week, depending on when you're watching this, this coming week. So take a look at the video. We've moved on from getting all the first fix in for the majority of the bathroom. We've got a few little bits to alter around, and then we can begin lagging and boarding and insulating and getting it all ready for those tiles to go on. Then we need to get the bath in, then the problems occur. So I'm going to leave it there because this video could be quite long. As always, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate everybody that gets involved with the channel, especially the like button. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can get some massive likes on this video, leading into what will hopefully be a plain sailing run when we come to do the tiling. So I'll let you get on with it and I'll catch you soon. Right, we're back at this bathroom, just finishing off a few little bits that I never got a chance to do last week. We've got to get the bath in at some point this week for when Nathan Tyler comes. But what I want to do today is cut into the flow and return feeds that are here, and I'm just going to poke out two 50mm heating pipes with full bore isolation valves on the top of them. The reason being, we can get rid of the pipes coming through the wall here, and that means we can cut the pipe work out there, which also feeds that rad in there, because that's going to come out anyway. So if we bring the heating pipes out there, once this is all done and finished, we can then come along and pick a rad up there that the customer wants. And as I said, they're having a wall built off here and they want a towel rail bathroom side of it, so we can also come off there, run round at a later date when all the building work's done and pick up a towel rail. But if I bring them out and put two full bore isolation valves on it, we can come off them as and when we need to. So I've got to get that done, and then I've picked up some plasterboard, picked up some lagging, and then begin to get the boards on. And the same here, get the lagging on there, get some boards on, get the plinths up ready to mark out where this wall's going to be, so then Nate can tile from that point that way and get all the bathroom done. So today's little job, sort them heating pipes out, get some insulation in and get the boards on, and then tomorrow we should be getting the bath and getting that fitted in. So because we're on a combi system here, I'm going to open these, where we took this rad off, going to open these valves into my little foldable bucket just to basically take the pressure out of the system, and then I'll go downstairs. And what I'm going to do, because this one hasn't got that many drain offs for now, I'm just going to open the bottom of the Magna Clean, you know, the little screw that goes in the bottom, drain the system down through there, and then we can cut open the heating pipes and bring them pipes into here. But for now, it's perfect for the little orange bucket that everybody asks for. Amazon, 12 quid, bargain, get a couple of them. So we're going to drain the top of the system here, little plum chum, proper handy little thing to have in your pocket. So we'll just take the pressure out of the system, take the top off the system with that, and then we can drain it all downstairs. What I'm going to do now is just remove this little plug in the bottom of the Magna Clean unit, leave the valves open, and it will drain down the rest of the heating system. We've only got to work on the top anyway, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. And then we'll pop this back in afterwards. Right, we've now got the heating drain down, so what I'm going to do is fire two holes through there, and these are the heating pipes we're going to pick up. So we'll cut a couple of T's in, come off with 15mm copper through here with two full bore isolation valves. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to come off the end of there with just some plastic. We're going to cut out this pipe here, cut out these pipes here that stab through for that rad, and then just get on further down there. We're just going to connect back on to the rest of the heating circuit house, just because we know that this may have to be altered in the back here when they knock through and take this roof off, so there's no point in doing it twice. Right, I've been on this bathroom now a good few days and I'm that rushed off my feet trying to get it done. I just don't have a chance to even shoot out from here to go and grab something else to eat. So that brings me on neatly to this video's sponsor, and it is, as always, Y-Food. Y-Food is a meal replacement shake. It's not a protein shake, it's not a diet drink. It basically replaces your meal that you're going to have in the day, or for me, the one that I haven't bought with me. So this is where Y-Food comes in perfectly. Keeps you full, 3 to 5 hours, comes in loads of different flavours. I've bought Happy Banana with me today, I like the banana one, and also got a salted caramel, just in case I get a little bit peckish towards the end of the day. And if drinks ain't your thing, they do the little bars as well. This one is, again, salted caramel. And what have we got here? Coconut and white chocolate. So they've got a range of loads of different ones. They also do a vegan range, which comes in a coffee, chocolate, banana, vanilla, and a berry flavour. And also with Y-Food, products are 100% recyclable, so you're not going to do any damage to the planet. You can get rid of all this stuff and it will be recycled. And Y-Food supplies your body with all the nutrients it needs. Protein, fibre, 26 vitamins and minerals. It's a practical, healthy meal inside a shake. Y-Food, give me a link just along the bottom here, also in the description, for 10% off. So hit that, save a few quid and get yourself some Y-Food. So big shout out, as always, to Y-Food for sponsoring this video. So we've got those 2 holes through. We'll just now cut into this 22mm, get some T's on and poke back through here. So we've got that first little bit of 15mm in there, and we'll just mark up this 22mm. So we'll cut it there, take this copper out, and then when we put the T in here, I'll come off with a bit of copper, but then we'll just put the 22mm plastic elbow on, pick up the rest of the house. So this should, in theory, be drained down now. We might get a little bit of water come out, but nothing to worry about. Right, that's good, completely drained. Get a bit of flux on there, a little bit of flux on there. Already fluxed the T up and the reducer up. Haven't fluxed in there up though. So we've got that T in now, ready to solder up. I can't solder both of them at the same time because this one is going to have to sit over the top of that one, so it's just going to be a little bit awkward. So to make life a bit easier, put this one into position, we'll solder this one up and then pop the T on with the reducer, pop the T on with the reducer and bring that one out. You can just cut them off out here and put our full bore isolation valves, a little bit of copper, as I said, facing that way, and then T back in down the far end where the pipe work goes off to feed the rest of the heating in the house. Right, that's the 2 connections now into the heating pipes, poked up there. We'll get connectors on there, and then we'll just trim this one down so it's not right in the way, and it's the same as that one, and then we can get some isolation valves on them. So those 2 heating pipes that we've just cut off, this 15mm the gas and these 222s the heating pipes, they come along here and then to here. So what I'm going to do is cut them here and here and put 2 plastic couplers onto them, and then put some 22mm down to there to pick up them 2 22s that we've just soldered in, just to keep the rest of the house on. That rad on the left hand side of that wall is obviously coming off, and then these 2 plastic pipes at the minute are feeding this rad, which is also coming off. So we'll whip this off, get them cut and feed some 22mm down that way. I say it's just going to be temporary until we know what's going on with all of this is coming out. This is going to be a walkway, so we're going to have to tweak all this lot anyway, but for now we'll get it out, get reconnected on and get the heating system filled back up. So we've got the lag in, we've got the boards, we're going to get the lagging into the back of here and put it all between these joists so it's completely lagged and insulated, and then get the boards on and secure all of this area so it can then be ready to be tiled next week when Nate's back. But we all know that putting this lagging in is not a nice job, so I'm just going to crack on with it, get it done, get the boards on and get this bit finished. I thought I'd quickly show you what we're doing. So we've got all that lagging in the front there between the joists, and then also, I don't know if you can make it out now, but I've lagged all the way up the back of there on top of pipes and everything, and we'll go to the end there and obviously get some of this little bit here before we board it. But yeah, that's how we're packing it out, keep it nice and insulated and get the boards on. So that's the boarding done, we've got the insulation in the back, boards are on, it's all ready now to be tiled. All we've got to do is clean all the rubbish out of here, get the bath in, and then it's ready for Nath to begin tiling. We went to Plum Base last night, grabbed the bath, grabbed the legs, grabbed the taps, and I also grabbed one of these McAlpine bath traps. Now I fitted one of these a while ago and I really rate them, I think they're spot on. So I grabbed another one, it is a HC2650 UK. Really good trap. So we'll pop that on the bath. I've also picked up some timber to batten around the outside of the bath, which is how I've always done baths. It just makes them properly secure when they're on the wall as opposed to just hanging on a little bracket. So we'll get the bath stripped down. I think we've also, yeah, we've got to drill the bath taps on this one as well. So we'll get this all stripped down and then look at getting the legs on. So I say this every time I fit a bath on a bathroom renovation, always use the fittings that come in the pack for the legs, because otherwise you'll end up screwing through here to secure the legs to the bottom of the bath, and you'll use some screws that you've just got out your screw box and they'll go through the wood into the bottom of the bath. I don't know anyone that's done it, and he might even be watching. An old apprentice of mine did it, Paul Hawkins. Hawko, if you're watching, remember that time when you screwed them bath legs on that bath and they went straight through the bottom? And what was your reply to it? At least they ain't going to slip in the bath now. Apprentices. So yeah, always use the fittings that come with it. Now, obviously this is a P-shaped bath, so the bottom of the bath is wider than the top. It comes with two different sets of legs. So obviously the longer ones are going to go here. They've fortunately marked, or they've tried to mark some holes out. They've marked the holes like that, so it's going to go on the angle a little bit. So that's that one, and then they've marked the top. We'll get that in, then we can get the legs on and get the bath tipped over, and then get the taps marked out on the top into the centre of the bath, and then get them screwed in as well. So when you come to mark the taps on one of these P-shaped baths, just be a little conscious. This nearly caught me out for a second then. So the end of this bath is 700, so half of it would have been 350, but if you'd have gone 350 on that, if you look here, the actual centre line off the waist is, give or take, 385. So with the P-shaped bath, they've obviously moved the waist across slightly, so always be a little bit wary of that. Always get the taps in line with that waist. So what we'll do, we'll get the taps out now, set it there. I've got my hole saw set. So we'll get the taps out, mark out exactly where they've got to go. I always put them centre of this lip here, so they'll be in the middle, and then we can get them drilled out. So if we measure the centre of these taps, they're always about 182 mil. They're always a little bit more over than 180. So always be mindful of that. And what I do, I always use the hole cutter slightly bigger than what the threads are, but obviously enough to be covered by the shroud and the rubber wash that's going to go on it. So we'll mark these up, 182 obviously centre them off that line and get them drilled out, because you've got one chance with these baths. Obviously drilling taps out. Years ago they used to come pre-drilled, but for some reason people want taps in the corners and at the sides and all that sort of jazz now. So you'll struggle to find a bath with pre-drilled holes, to be honest. I can't remember the last one I had that had pre-drilled holes in it. So yeah, we'll get that centred up on there and get that drilled out. So we've got those marked out now. I haven't took the film off the bath. I always mark it on top of the film and cut it out that way. And what I do, I drill the pilot through first, just to stop that, you know, if you drill through with the pilot bit and then all of a sudden that will drop down onto the bath. So we'll get those drilled out and get the taps in. There we go, and just pull the film off. Down where the taps have got to go. We can get them taps into position now. So those little rubbers that are on the bottom of the bath shrouds will now cover those holes that we've drilled in. So you see that rubber completely covers the area that we drilled. So we'll get them in position, get them screwed up underneath, and then we can begin to offer the bath into position. So as I think I said earlier, I like these McAlpine traps. I fitted one not too long ago to a bath I did and was quite impressed with it. So they sit, obviously the bath's got to be jacked up a little bit and tweaked, but it will sit like that. Now what I'm going to do is put it that way on this bath so the overflow can stab out from there, and then we'll come out here with an elbow and then it'll run. We just alter the waste and run it down the front end of this bath. But as always, what I always do with bathway, some people do it, some people don't, I'll put a little smear of silicone around there, pop the rubber on, another little smear of silicone around there, and then the same on the top. Pop that into the top, and then it comes with a little tool to tighten it up and get it in. A little tool there to tighten it up. So let's get some silicone on it, get it put into position. Obviously you've pulled the film away from it. We'll get that in, mounted in, and then we can look at putting the bath into place, working out the height. I need to shoot off and get the bath panel. I forgot to pick it up this morning. Get it into place and get the battens along the wall to make sure it's solid. So that's the bath just offered into position for the minute. What I always do, and I've always been taught to do it, and I've done it on every bath I've fitted, is put plinths under the feet. I think it's pretty common practice, but I have seen baths fitted by people and they don't do it, and at the end of the day it's each to their own, but it just spreads the weight of the feet when they're going onto the floor. So just cut a little bit of timber. So just cut a little bit of timber, slide it underneath, and then obviously lift the bath up, put it under the legs, and then work your height from that. And it also gives a sort of an indication of how high the tiles are going to be. So we've got the bath panel over there, so we can work out from the top of this to the lip of the bath. By the time Nate's got his board on and his tile on and whatnot, it's going to be about that sort of height, so we can work the panel off the top of that to the bottom of the bath. So let's get these in, screw these down, and then we can set the height of the bath, mark around the bath where the plinths are going to go, and then put the plinths in place. If we measure now the bath panel, the width of the bath panel is 5'10". So what we've got to do is set the height of the bath, bearing in mind we're going to have tiled floor, so it's going to be cement boarded, then adhesive, then tiled. So we're going to work on the basis of what that is there. So if we measure from the top of that to the bottom of the bath, that is just over 500. So we've got to jack it up a little bit to 5'10". The same with this one, just ever so slightly on that one. But we'll do that, and then we'll level it all round with the level, get the back edge level, sides and the front all set to 5'10". Then we can mark out underneath where the battens are going to go. So let's get this bath level. This is where sometimes you can chase your tail a little bit with a bath, but I always go from the front leg, and then we can reach through underneath the bath, alter the legs. And what is good with these ones is they've got these welding nuts on the bottom, so to spin the legs is fairly easy. He says as he tries to spin it with his hand and can't do it because the weight of the bath's on it. So we've chased our tail around the bath a little bit and got it level. So we're level on this front edge here. We're level on the back, and then side to side, we're level on there. And there. So what we'll do now is, now that that's completely level, we will go round and mark the exactly where this bottom is here. So if we mark along there, do it all the way around the back, I'll reach up underneath the bath there, and then we can get the plinths on the wall, and then when the bath is put into place, it sits on top of the battens, the plinths that are running round the underside of the bath. It just means that the bath is absolutely solid. You know when some people say, right, you've got to fill the bath up with water because it will drop. This stops that drop happening. So that's the way I've always done it. It's just a lot better than I put in these crappy little brackets to hold a bath in place. So that's the batten put all the way around the edge now, so the bath is going to sit onto that when we lift it in now. We've put some little brackets on underneath just to stop it moving off, but it's going to be sealed in anyway, and the legs will be screwed down onto these little plinths. So just pick the bath up, drop it into position, and then we're ready to begin connecting it up. So there you go, that's the bath in, absolutely solid now on them plinths that are running round. And what we'll do, we'll get some screws into the feet here, stop it moving around. I might even be able to, yeah, I should be able to get a couple into that back one there as well. So we'll get that done, and then we're ready to begin connecting the hot and colds and the waste into the bath. I always keep these baths covered up until the very last moment, and then I can get the silicone in. So I've left the wrapper on it, left the film on it. I've just begun to pull it back off the bath, ready for, because it's now in its final position and ready to go in. I'm ready to silicone round it and seal it in prior to the tiling. I've just started pulling all this cellophane off it. I pulled it along here, and I've noticed this. There's a mark on the edge of the actual internal bit of the bath. What an absolute pain. This was the last bit to go in, to connect up, and ready for Nave to then begin the tiling on this bathroom. So I've just rung Dave at Plumbase, and he said he's going to try and get me one for tomorrow, but that sort of throws out tomorrow's jobs, what I had planned in. So these things happen, I suppose. You know, I like to keep them covered up as long as I can, but obviously this time it's bit me in the arse, because if I'd uncovered it earlier on, I would have seen it. It's half of one and 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, or whatever it is. It's just sort of annoyed me a little bit. But Dave's on it. Dave's going to see him get me another one. But yeah, just that tiny little fucking mark there. First of all, I thought it was just like a little bit of plaster or something like that, but no, it's an actual sort of chip within the mould of the bath. So yeah, these things happen. There's not a lot I can do. All I had to do was get this in, connect it up, test it, and then it was handing over to the tiler. So I need to get that done. Oh, hang on. Here's Dave now. Let's see if he's got any good news. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Got 2 left.
Oh, you're a star, mate. What sort of time tomorrow will that be?
Hopefully, it'll be first thing. They usually send it all out at.
Okay.
Because they're usually here before I am.
Oh, right, okay, that'd be handy. That'd be handy. I'm just filming for YouTube, Dave, telling the viewers what's happened. So say hello.
Hello. Remember, Kate O'Connell's the rep.
Kate O'Connell from Frontline. Is Kate there? Is she, Dave?
No. She isn't.
All right. So yeah. So tomorrow morning, hopefully, mate.
Morning, yeah. Usually they're here at 7. So as soon as it's here, I'll let you know.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Pat. But don't be too nice. It might not turn up.
Right. Cheers, Dave. Ta.
Bye-bye.
There you go. First thing tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now, as pissed off as I am, I'm going to get this back out, get the taps out of it, get the waste out of it, and basically get ready to pick that new one up in the morning, get over it. At least, to be fair, at least all the battening's done and everything's done for it. So at least we can get the other one and get it in straight away. But these things happen. Fair play to Dave. Dave's on it, sorting it out for me. But it's real world plumbing, and this is what goes on. So do you check it? Do you unpack your bath? completely before you fit it, or do you wait till it's in? I'm sure people are going to let me know. You should always unpack it before, but on this one I left it all covered in. So let's get this one out and get ready to pick the other one up in the morning and try again. So just outside Plum Base, it's the following morning. Dave's done me a treat here. He's got this bath in for me, so we'll just give it a quick check over before I take it away, because I don't want this one to be damaged like the other one was. But no, that's why I say you should always look after your merchants. They always see you all right when you need them the most. Hello, mate.
How you doing?
All right, where's my hero?
He's in there, man. Yeah, I am here.
Thanks, Dave.
That's all right. Hey, I'm not all super.
And it was what was it, 7:15 this morning?
7:15.
Sent me a text. 7:15, woke me up. Bath's in. Can't fault that. So what's that, less than 14-hour turnaround? That's why you buy them treats at Christmas, so they look after you.
Hang on, you ain't took the film off the bath yet.
I have, I've just been outside, checked it.
Check.
But no, spot on. See, always look after your merchants. So there we go, we've got the new bath up into the bathroom. Let's try again at fitting it on there where it's got to go. I'm going to take the packaging off it, check it's okay, get the legs back onto it. Basically everything that we done yesterday, right up to the point where I was yesterday before I found out it had that mark on it. But this is a perfect example of buying stuff from your merchants, less than 14, 15 hours, and I've got a new bath here. If you'd have bought that, or the customer bought that off the internet, and you'd have got it in, then you'd have had to take it out there, have to ring Victoria Plum or whoever and faff around. You probably wouldn't get another bath for a week, so then that would knock the whole bathroom on a week. Whereas this one, next day, you see ya, ready to be put in. So let's get it back to the position we was in yesterday before we had to take it out again. So I think I said yesterday, I always leave the film and the protective stuff as much as I can on the baths till they're in, and then take it all off. Just my little paranoia now after that last bath, so I've just took everything off this bath, got the legs on, laid it down, took everything off, just to make sure it's all right. So yeah, it's absolutely spot on everywhere. So we'll crack on now, get it in, get the taps re-drilled back into it, and get it put into place. That's that bath now back into position at the point where we got to yesterday before we noticed that little issue. But yeah, this one is perfect. All the wast's on, just got to connect the overflow. But I've just been down, turned the water off. So what I'm going to do to connect the pipework up is put a 22mm flexi, full bore flexi, so it's got the best flow going through it on that flexi. A little bit of copper into an elbow, into a bit of plastic, and then just connect it underneath the bath. So I'm going to do that for the car. I'm going to pipe the cold up, and then with the waste, we're going to, because we're coming out the side here, I'll put an elbow on there, and then 245s back into the 1.5" there, and then we can connect the hot on this side, and then get some water in there and fill it up, and just make sure everything's all right, make sure the waste's running away and all of that. And then finally it'll be ready for Nate to get the tiling done. That's the 22mm connected up, if you can see it through there, on for the cold. We've connected the waste. I've just made up the 22mm for the hot, so we'll put that into position, cut the hot pipe down, connect it up, and then that is just about done. What I'm going to do then is put some sealant around the side. I always silicone the edge of the bath in prior to obviously Nate tiling down to it, just to make it properly secure and in place. Then we'll leave it to go off, have a good tidy up in here, and then before we go, run some water through it and make sure all is well. As I've said before, because we've battened the back and the sides, you know, there's not going to be any movement in that bath when the water fills up, and not going to be a problem at all. So yeah, we'll get this on, get this connected up, and get the water back on. Water's back on, and we're all sealed in round the edge, ready for Nate to begin tiling next week. We've got all the boards in, we're done in here as much as we can now. So as I say, I will be dropping back in at some point next week just to check on Nate. I'll film a little bit, show you. We've got tiles going on the floor, electric underfloor heating going under the tiles with a little mat. With feature wall in that back end as far as I can remember, tiling down there, half height tiling along there. So it'll begin to come together next week when Nate's here getting that done. But that is about all we can do here for the moment. So hope you've enjoyed it. These 2 or 3 parters now building up to the end of this bathroom. So if you have, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop me a comment below, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.